Hey guys, welcome back, and today I'm just going to give you my thoughts on the Victorinox that I've been wearing for the past week or so. That's coming up right after this. Alright, so this is a watch that was a tour watch from one of the Facebook groups that I'm in. It's the Independent Watch Aficionados, and basically a bunch of people kind of go in on a watch that we all like, and we split the cost, and then everybody gets to spend a week with the watch. So it was my turn with the Victorinox I.N.O.X, and this is it right here. We got this army green one, and it's a hefty piece. Okay, I'm not doing like a formal review video about it because there's a lot out there already, but I did want to share my thoughts on this piece. This is a piece that every time I saw it, either on Instagram or wristwatch check, somebody else had, or I thought it was very good looking. Let me get this out of the way right away. It is a quartz piece, right? And the gist of it is that it's this heavy duty, made for anything type of tool watch. It has a very Seamaster type scalloped edges on the bezel area, and just overall a very handsome watch. So I was pretty excited to try this one out. I will say that I feel like it wears big, but bigger watches don't really bother me. I have the Citizen Grand Touring Sport, is a pretty hefty piece. I think that's 44 millimeters, and I wear it pretty comfortably, so I don't have any issues with that in and of itself. As for whether or not I like it, I still do. I don't love this one, and I think that's more to do with the color than anything else. I'm not like a huge fan of olive or this army green type of color, and that's just me personally. They also have it in red or blue, and those are colors that I probably would have liked more than this one. But I will say that it is a hefty piece. It's heavy, despite the fact that it is on a genuine rubber band for this. It is heavy. So if you've been thinking about this piece and you don't like weighty watches, I probably wouldn't go for this piece. But one of the things that I did really appreciate about it that you don't really catch in the pictures when you're looking at it is the depth of the dial itself. So it has a very high chapter ring along the outside of the dial, and there are cutouts inside that chapter ring, kind of like the Seiko Monster. And in those cutouts are where the hour markers lie for it. And it's just something that when you're looking at it in pictures, you don't really get the feel of, but then you're like, oh wow, there's surprisingly a lot more depth to the dial than you would expect. And that's something that I did like and I did appreciate. Along the top of every hour marker on the chapter ring, it has a 24 hour, so military time, 14, 15, 16, so on and so forth. The problem is with this color, that red text is nearly impossible to see. In fact, I didn't really notice it while I was wearing it or know what was on that particular part of the dial until I started taking a closer look at it to kind of put this together and take some closer pictures of it. So not practical at all, but it does give a little bit of color that is brought out by the fact that the second hand is red. Overall, I did enjoy it. I will say that the band, surprisingly, it is rubber, but it is really, really thick. I mean, it's a substantial band. It almost has the look and feel of being plastic. That type of thickness, but not in a cheap way. It's still very well put together, but it does have a more plastic kind of a feel to it than the kind of rubber bands that you might normally be used to. I will put up the specs for this particular watch for those of you that aren't familiar with it. But I like my tool watches. I did enjoy this watch. I did enjoy wearing it. I'm going to send it on for the next person that's part of the tour to enjoy, but maybe not this color. I thought that maybe once I got it, I'd be like, oh, I kind of like it anyways. But not big on the color, not keen on the color. Would I buy it? Probably not. I just don't think that it fits for me. If I'm going to wear a tooly watch type of thing, that's pretty much what I reserve the Marathon for. And I don't think that I'd ever pick this up over the Marathon. The reason for that is, I wear the Marathon when I'm going to be working on something with my hands. Either I'm fixing something or I'm going, out with the family for some adventure. And the Marathon, because it's just a bit smaller, has a shorter lug to lug as well. It's much more comfortable on the wrist when you're moving your wrist around. If you don't have something that's in that tool watch category for you already, and you want something that you don't have to worry about, then, and this appeals to you, I don't think you'd be disappointed. But as most of us know, I do think that color makes a big difference. And I think if this had been red or blue, I might have fallen in love with it a little more than I did. If you guys have this watch or you've thought about getting it, I'd love to hear what you guys think about it. So if you enjoyed this video or found it useful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And as always, if this is your first time here, don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. That's it for this one. CG out.